Every human being carries an inner divide, the part of you that wants to grow and the part that recoils, the part that reaches for your future and the part anchored in your past. People often interpret this as weakness, as if willpower alone should eliminate the conflict. But fragmentation isn't a flaw. It's the natural starting point for every transformational journey. Today, we're going to explore how inner divisions form, why certain parts of you seem to work against your own progress, and how the path of self-unification begins. This is the third layer of the inner field, the architecture of the self. You are not a single unified identity. You are a collective, a living system of different emotional patterns, memories, instincts, and internal roles. Different selves emerge depending on the situation. The self who avoids, the self who strives, the self shaped by childhood safety strategies, the self shaped by adult ambition, the self who protects, the self who self-sabotages, and the self who envisions something greater. This is normal. This is just human psychology. This is how the mind organizes itself. The challenge isn't that you have many selves. The challenge is that they're not aligned. Fragmentation is what happens when your inner parts stop communicating. Fragmentation is not dramatic. It's lived quietly, every day. It looks like inconsistency, emotional volatility, chronic hesitation, avoiding things you care about, sabotaging your own progress, feeling pulled apart internally, starting and abandoning cycles. Psychologically, fragmentation happens when different internal parts hold competing needs, values, or fears. Emotionally, it shows up as incoherence. Your somatic, emotional, and cognitive layers stop operating in harmony. Symbolically, fragmentation is the dispersed kingdom. Multiple inner figures with no shared ruler. From an inner field perspective, fragmentation is a break in internal communication. The layers of your field, body, emotion, thought, narrative, etc., fall out of sync. This is why your behavior feels unpredictable, even to yourself. Inner division is rarely created by a single moment. It usually emerges from a lifetime of smaller fractures. For starters, emotional experiences you didn't have the capacity to process. These become isolated, unintegrated, forming protective subcells. Then there's conflicting values or desires. One part of you seeks security, the other seeks growth. Internalized expectations, voices of parents, teachers, peers, carried forward as internal critics and internal judges. Then there's survival strategies that outlive their purpose, parts that once kept you safe that now interfere with your growth. And identity disruptions, moments of shame, betrayal, loss, or failure that split you from your sense of self. These fragments are not mistakes. They're just unresolved chapters of your story. Integration is not a war against your weak parts. It's not domination, eradication, or suppression. Integration is inner reconciliation, the process of bringing your divided selves together into dialogue. It means listening to the part of you that fears the change, understanding the part that clings to comfort, and healing the part of you that carries old emotional wounds. Integration is the moment your choices stop contradicting your values, your emotions stop ambushing your plans, your inner roles stop competing, and your future self becomes compatible with your present self. Integration isn't perfection, it is inner alignment. It's when the many begin to move as one. The process of unifying the self has 3 essential stages. Number 1, recognition and awareness. Identify the parts within you. Identify the protector, the critic, the avoider, the achiever, the idealist, the wounded child, the emerging visionary. Each one formed for a reason. Each has emotional logic. Stage 2, reconciliation. Learn what each part feels, needs, and what it tries to protect. This dissolves internal hostility and creates inner compassion. Stage number 3, reorientation. Align the parts towards a shared direction, a coherent identity, a unified future, a common vision. Unification doesn't erase your inner diversity. It simply organizes it. A unified self isn't a single voice. It's a harmonized inner orchestra. When the self becomes integrated, discipline stops feeling like resistance. Emotion becomes information instead of threat. Sabotage dissolves. Action becomes natural. Momentum becomes consistent. And decision-making becomes clearer. Your identity stabilizes. Your nervous system relaxes. You feel together inside. This is the psychological foundation of transformation. It is the moment you become capable of holding the life you want. Now that we've explored fragmentation and the beginnings of inner coherence, we're ready for the next layer, identity craft. In episode 4, I'll show you how to intentionally design the traits, virtues, and values of the person you're becoming, and how identity moves from abstraction into embodiment. If episode 3 revealed why you feel divided, episode 4 reveals who you can become once you unify. Welcome to Soulburn. Welcome to the reclamation. See you in the next episode.